What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word? Hummingbird. Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of SWV and Escape, the Queens of R&B, Season 1, Episode 4, Top Billing. So we get started with Taj and Coco. They are working out with her fitness trainer, and Taj says that her relationship with Coco is better now than it was back in the day, because back in the day Coco was the main singer, so she pulled a lot of weight being the main singer of the group. So if Coco and Taj are having beef and Coco stopped talking to Taj, everybody stopped talking to Taj, and Taj says then that she would be left all alone. Taj has such a great personality, and she seems like the kind of person who's always seeing the glass half full, and she has a very positive outlook on life. So I can just imagine back in the 90s, like if Coco and everybody else stopped talking to her, Taj probably was just like, oh well, let me just go find a new group of friends and go do something else with my time. Like, it really wouldn't have phased her that much. So the topic of headlining comes up, like who's going to headline this concert. Is it going to be Escape? Is it going to be SWV? Or are they going to co-headline? And Taj and Coco say that they have worked with many girl groups in the past, In Vogue, TLC, just to name a couple. And those groups were more successful than SWV and Escape, but they never experienced the kind of treatment with those groups that they're experiencing now with Escape, with this whole thing of, this push and shove of who's going to headline. We're better than y'all. We should be the ones to headline. Our name should be bigger. We should be getting paid more. They're like, we've never ever experienced this before. So that question is still hanging up in the air. Then we see Lily. She's working on her book, and her book is called The Many Faces of Sister Hotbox, but she doesn't use the word box. And her goal is to be an established author. And it's great that, she's finding an interest in things other than the music group, because Lily talks a lot about how the music industry is extremely cruel and very, very fickle. And it's like you're hot one day and the next day nobody knows you, nobody wants to know you, nobody wants to work with you. You're just not, you're just not that it girl anymore. And so you have to find other interests so that when the bottom falls out again, you've got other things going on to keep you occupied, instead of falling into a deep depression because your career is over, or trying to scramble and trying to find other things to do. So yeah, she's trying to get this book thing going so she can be an established author. So moving on from there, we have Taj and Tamika. They meet up at a restaurant, and Tamika and Taj, they're all about business. When they get together, they're talking about business. So they're talking about what kind of costumes that they're going to wear for the concert. Tamika has kind of taken on the role of stage director, or a stage director in training, because they do have an official stage director. And she has all of these ideas and concepts of how she wants the concert to go. So she pulls out her little notebook and she's showing Taj, how she wants the stage to look, and all these ideas that she has about how she wants the stage to be, how they're going to be on stage. I mean, just all kinds of ideas. So they're talking about business, they're trying to make this money. And so that was really good to see. Moving on, they all have a group meeting. So Escape, SWV, they all get together along with Steven, who was, I guess, the stage director for SWV. And lo and behold, even Latasha has decided to grace them with her presence. So Taj, so all the groups are there, which is like 8 people in total, because you got 4 people from Escape, 3 people from SWV, plus Steve, the stage director. And this is at Taj's house. And Taj presents them with like this little plate, like one little plate of some deli meat, like about 3 slices, and then another little plate of some sliced cheese. Like, what the hell is this? It's a struggling charcuterie board. Like, what are you doing, Taj? But anyway, so Tamika, she starts off by talking about how she wants the show to start. She gets right down to it, like how the concert is going to start, what song they're going to do, blah, 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 like into the whole shebang of the logistics of how we're going to start off this concert. And Coco comes in and says, well, that's all good, girl, but what I really need to know, and before we can get any further, Who's headlining? We never resolved that. So let's talk about that before we move on. So Lily says that they should co-headline. And then everybody turns to Candy and they're like, Candy? Because Candy was the most vocal about Xscape being the headliner and SWV basically like opening up for Xscape. And so everybody turned to Candy to see what she had to say about it. And Candy was just like, well, I'll just do whatever my group wants to do. And deep down inside, Candy was probably hoping and praying that they were going to want to do what she wanted to do, was to have Xscape headline. So Tiny didn't say anything. Tamika didn't say anything. Candy didn't say anything further. So Latasha spoke up, because Latasha don't give a damn about Xscape anymore. So Latasha says she makes the executive decision, and she's like, okay, we're going to co-headline. Let's just co-headline. Let's just do that. And let's just get over this whole headlining thing and move on to other things. So Candy didn't say anything because she said she didn't want to appear as the villain. Good. That's good, Candy. Candy, I love you, girl. I admire your business acumen, but the idea of Xscape headlining, even though you believe in your mind that Xscape would bring in more people, so which in turn would mean more tickets being sold and more money for both groups, I don't believe in that. I think that these two groups are both equally strong, equally good, equally powerful, and there's no way in hell that you would have Xscape with their names bigger and brighter on top and then SWV. That is absolutely disrespectful, Candy Burris. You should be ashamed of yourself. And I'm hoping she wasn't talking about SWV opening for Xscape. I hope that she wasn't talking about that, because that right there, I mean, she's lucky that Coco didn't mollywop her after suggesting that SWV open up for Xscape. Like, what? No, ma'am. So moving on from there. So after they get that whole headlining situation at Bay, Tamika busts out with all of her creative ideas. So she's going into detail about she wants them to be rising up from the bottom of the stage, flying around in the air, horses, galloping on stage on horses. I mean, all kinds of ideas. And Tasha is just sitting there listening, not really saying much or not saying anything at all. And we hear that Tasha used to be the one that worked closely with Steven, the creative director. So Tasha was the one, along with Steve, where, a lot of these creative directing stage ideas would come from. She had like a really heavy hand in all of that. And now her sister Tamika is just taking over. I mean, what else could it be? I mean, how else should it be? Because Tasha don't give a damn about the tour. She don't give a damn about Xscape. She's more concentrated on her damn solo career. So I know Tasha wasn't feeling some kind of way, because Tasha, you act like you don't really care one way or the other. Moving on from there, we have Candy, Coco, and Tasha. So they're meeting up at the studio, and they're going through like the list of songs and how the songs are going to be presented. Because at the prior meeting, when both groups came together, Tamika had designated who's going to be taking care of what, who's going to be in charge of what, who's in charge of the costume, who's in charge of the songs, who's in charge of whatever. So it came out that Candy, Coco, and Tasha, I think, were going to be in charge of the songs, like what songs were going to be played and the list and in what order. So they're all meeting up in the studio, and they're going through the list of songs, and they're asking, they're coming up with ideas of what song should come first, second, third, fourth, whatever. So they keep asking Tasha, so Tasha, what do you think if we played this song first or second, or give us some input? And Tasha is very blasé. She's just like, I don't know. I haven't really thought much about it. And so then Coco was like, why haven't you thought much about it? And Tasha says, I've just been busy. I got too much going on. Very, very disinterested, very cold. Like, girl, why did you even show up? If you're not going to put any input, why are you here? Moving on. So Candy meets up with Don Juan, her right hand man, and they talk about Tasha. How Tasha is just, very disinterested. She's not cooperating. She's not complying. She's not whatever. And it's because of this whole solo deal thing. She's got this solo deal thing going on. And Candy always talks about how this is just like how it was before. This is not our first rodeo with Tasha distancing herself for a solo career and not making Xscape a priority. Candy keeps talking about how we've been through this before. We've seen all the signs. We know what's going on. We know what the deal is. So she says that Tasha is pursuing her solo career hardcore right now because the spotlight is on the group. They're doing this tour, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of buzz going around about Xscape and SWV. So this is the reason why she's deciding this moment to go ahead and start her solo career, because she wants to use the momentum of this tour or of the attention that they're getting to launch her solo career. And she won't let Xscape go completely. Like, she won't leave the group completely because it's her safety net. So if the solo thing doesn't work out, it'll be back to, hey girls, hi girls, are we rehearsing today? She's going to be all up in the mix again. So Don Juan gives Candy some advice, and he tells Candy, don't make someone a priority that makes you an option. Moving on to Coco, Taj, and Jalen. So Coco is stressed out about her son, Jalen. She wants that boy to go back to school ASAP because he told her that he didn't want to go to school anymore. He wants to be a singer. He never was happy being in school, and he was depressed about that. And, it just wasn't his cup of tea. So now he wants to pursue a singing career. Coco, because she knows the ins and outs of the music industry, does not want her child, her baby, to experience the ugly side of the entertainment industry, because it can get extremely ugly, especially if you don't have a backup plan. So she meets up with Taj so that Taj can, help her convince her son to still pursue school, to still pursue an education. And Taj tells the story of how when SWV broke up, Taj and Lily were expendable because they were not, the main singers of the group. And so when they broke up, the music industry was still interested in Coco, but they could have cared less about Taj and Lily. So Taj said that she had to make it happen. So she ended up getting a job paying $9 an hour answering phones. And she tells Jalen, if I had an education, if I had gotten my degree in whatever, I would not have been stuck with a minimum wage paying job. I would have been doing something else a little bit more lucrative. So keep your butt in school. But he's probably not going to do it. Next thing that we have, let's talk about Tasha first, because we had dual scenes going on. We had scenes at the rehearsal place, and we had scenes at Tasha's house. So let's talk about Tasha first. So Tasha, she's at home with her husband, Rocky, and he brings her the contract. And I was like, what the hell is this? What is this word perfect single page contract? What the hell is this? I mean, I'm expecting a contract to be multiple pages, especially if it's signing with Motown. Okay, Motown Gospel Group or whatever the hell it's called. What is this? But anyways, okay, so he brings her this one little sorry piece of paper, and this is her whole career is on that one piece of paper. Her hopes and dreams are on that one piece of paper. So he wants her to sign the contract, and of course she wants to sign it as well. And he asks her, well, what is this the solo deal? What does this mean for you and the group Xscape? And Tasha says that they've come against me. Now, when she said they, I mean, obviously she's referring to her sister and Candy, probably, but probably more so her sister. She said that they've come against me. They've come against me. They've come against you, my mom. And I'm like, when did anybody else other than your sister come against you? So why are you saying they? Why can't you just say my sister, Tamika, has come against me? Because you and Candy have had beef, but it's like group beef. And I don't think you and Tiny ever had any issues. So why can't you just say what it is? But anyways, so she's kind of like, they've come against me. Nobody supported me. So she says in her confessional, I'm not walking to my solo deal. She goes, you know that song, Who Can I Run To? I am running to my solo career. So yeah, she cannot wait to sign that damn paper. So she signs the contract and the deal is sealed. So at the rehearsal, we have Tiny, Candy, and Tamika. Tasha didn't show up. So they're going through their rehearsals and they all sound so good. And this isn't the rehearsal for the tour. This is the rehearsal for a show that Xscape has coming up. Just Xscape by themselves. They sound so incredibly good. When Candy sings those Xscape songs, it just sounds so natural. And she sounds really good. It's just that when she tries to sing her new songs, I ain't down with that at all. But when she sings her Xscape songs, my God, she sounds really, really, really good. They all sounded so good. Tiny and Tamika, I got chills listening to them. And this was just a rehearsal. It was just a rehearsal. So they're rehearsing and Candy was like, so where's Tasha? And Tamika has to break the news that Tasha is not coming. Not only is she not coming to the rehearsal, she's not going to come to the sound check either. And she may or may not show up for the damn show. So Candy's heated. Candy's like, I don't understand how y'all let her get away with this, because I guess if Candy had it her way, she would have kicked Tasha out of the damn group. Because Candy was saying that why does our world have to revolve around her? Because when she doesn't show up, now we're scrambling, trying to figure out what to do without her. And she's wherever the hell she's at, not giving us a second thought, doing whatever the hell she wants to do. But here we are stressed out. What are we going to do to make up for her part? So Tamika, she said, what else did she say? Candy also said she's treating us like Gladys Knight of the Pips, like she's Gladys Knight and we're the Pips. So Tamika, she has this natural instinct to defend her sister, because that's what she's been doing all her life, even when it was against her better judgment. Because of her defending her sister so much, her and Candy got into it a couple of years ago. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. That's been resolved. So she has this natural instinct to defend her sister while Candy's going off. But she stops herself. She stops herself because she knows now, okay, I can't just be so quick to defend Tasha just because she's my sister. Logically speaking, Candy's making sense. This is all business. It's not personal. And that girl needs to be here for these damn rehearsals. So she doesn't say anything. And Tamika ends up having to sing her sister's part. Tamika sings, like I said, all of them sing so good. They all sung so good. And it's beautiful to hear Tiny, because you never would think, even though Tiny had her solo parts back in the 90s, when they were coming up, she did, and she sounds great. But even now, every time I hear Tiny sing, I love it. I love it, because even though I know she can sing, for some reason it's always unexpected that she can sing so good. But she held it down. It was just it was nice. Tasha, girl, I don't know what the hell's going on. You're trying to straddle the damn fence. You're lucky. You are really lucky that your group is showing you grace, because any other group would have kicked your butt out a long time ago with all of these shenanigans that you're trying to pull. You're trying to have like multiple burners going on the stove at the same time, and you're giving your group only half of you or a quarter of you, and it's just not fair. Any other group probably would have kicked you out a long time ago. Go on with your solo deal, your solo career. Nice knowing you, sis. Don't let the door hit you, where the good Lord split you. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, go ahead and subscribe, and I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.